destruiu a primeira torre, vai levando a segunda, atondou todo mundo, o problema é que o Greu, velocidade 5, pra cima da luz!
Que isso, Pikachu?
Meu Deus!
Is, can Elioya sustain enough? There's no jungle camps for him to get it off. Now, Jiu-Jitsu just start the Baron. Do they just say, oh well, Elioya has to back away, we can just go for the Baron. Elioya, down to half HP, only has a Grom. Cap's gonna try and do a little bit more work here. Seismic shot's got it, body, he binds him, but Elioya taking it will go down!
Yeah, Hacker stays right. Gets the full cam steal. That is so disgusting.
Oh, and mid lane UCal. Okay, yeah, he was going to have to do something. He was about to get in a lot of trouble there. That flash early, though, that UCal.
That is a couple of shuriken flips in a row, which have cost UCal control over this lane. Has to blow flash. That's the way you kind of cancel your E mid-flight. But Hacker, seriously impactful minute or two of play. Gets into that top rush outside of vision. Waits for the wave crash in mid lane as they've just about managed to time Beishuan heading towards his own Raptors as well. Gets to contest, gets to steal, gets to put pressure onto UCal as well, which leads him to making an unforced error, really, just under that.
This is that reactive play, though, you're saying.
I guess now forced to an awkward position, doesn't have flash, caught out in the enemy jungle.
I thought he was going to use the exit on the other side of the wall, but he just goes into it, and Fearness chases down a kill. That's 2 now to the Fjord. My God, that's terrifying.
Yeah, Beishuan, I think he uses the Warrior Trickster to get over into the blue buff pit, tries to get there more quickly, tries to get the timing right, but absolutely misjudges it. TT, from having a strong game 1, despite their mid-game worries, and in the second game, which arguably they could have won as well, this is a disastrous early game where they're falling apart through this top side the first time they let the Sejuani get through.
And these kinds of games are so important for TT. You were talking about how over 5 losses to get that. Shinryu with that flash play of the Renata takeover. That's 2 kills to Beichuan. And we thought FPX had something going in the early game. Well, TT have turned that bus right around.
FPX, they overplay their hand. They go for everything. They're greedy. They take the mid lane turret and they try and take the fight afterwards with poor positioning. And TT finally find themselves a group fight where they can bring to bear some of their more AoE damage. They get themselves a gold lead. Second Herald breaks open that mid lane out of turret. And FPX, despite all the praise we gave them for this early game, throw away what was a pretty good game state for them.
It's because the lead is here with Fearness. They're on an island right now. Like, when you get to the team fights, you still have a lot of disparity between here. They might find out LWX, but Beichuan has the flash. The Moonlight Visor goes wide. UCal! He's in the back line. That perfect execution. He can find one more, but he can find no more after that. That's more going over to Care, who's 3 and 2 on the Yone. They're looking for more Fearness, bringing that lead to bear here. Big engage. He's down though. Huanfeng and Hoya taking it up, and Hoya's about to get the Megadar. He's gonna find LWX here. He has it into the wall. No, he doesn't need it. The damage is enough, and you cannot take it. An ace for TT.
TT finally win a Baron fight! The Baron doesn't go down, but they finally head towards the Baron. They managed to get a fight. I don't know whether I like this approach either way. UCal does get caught out in the middle of nowhere, sniffed out by FPX. This looks like the Baron, the Renata ult, which should win the game, but there's a cleanse on the Aphelios. Maybe if you do that without that, that is what really seals this fight, but threw that in check. UCal so close to finishing off 2 kills. Trying to make the plays which have seen him so much success. Future Fire is an item which is really fallen off in terms of priority. Have to see if that will come into play here though.
TT's pulling the trigger here. I don't know if they can do that. That's a double
Flash
TP.
ult!
Triple Dugam! Oh my God, the wombo! And the combo is delivered from the heavens by TT! And FPX have nothing to say. They're cowering under the lightning and the thunder of Thunder Talk Gaming.
Mistakes were made. From 0 to 100 again, very reminiscent of game 1 victory for TT. It is a mistake around the Baron. TT pounce, they find their team fight. Jilliu take a bow, finally lands one of those big ultimates that can change the course of a game, change the course of a series. TT looking to close it out.
I can't believe they're just gonna win just like game number 1. They make you think, they make you a little crazy. Maybe you're missing a couple hairs, but TT, they will finish out strong in this best of 3. They'll deny FPX a win, and a 0-7 score streak will be theirs, but TT, they will push themselves to 6 wins on the season. Side laner for WE does get the knockback there and has a lot of damage to put into BewBew's back. BewBew had already used that unstoppable onslaught. It might be a tank fight, but it's one that 369 will eventually win and gets the solo bolo.
As soon as BewBew doesn't get that ult to completely disengage, 369 knows the play might take a while to complete, but the play is still on. Gets the kill. And while all this is happening, JDG, Herald in the mid lane. Let's push that in as well. Push in with that still considerable gold lead. Trying to put to bed some of those worries that they had just a little earlier on. Looking for a big siege.
Okay, the Nature's Grasp comes across. Man, that thing is so hard to see. The bullet time. Oh my God, Gaiwandi! He just tied to a cask across another dragon on the table. This time we will go to JDG. There'll be no contest there on the other side. Did you get a bounty there completed at least for WE, so a little bit of gold back, but they find themselves still at about 10 to 11,000.
I still think he can get out of this,
might still get this one. Oh my God! The long distance all out at 369 with another solo!
369, he brings in so much pressure. That is insult to injury. 4 people, best bring another one. You can't even 1v4 this guy.
He's Ruler is literally looking for another solo kill here on the Hung. He's like, I know you want those Raptors or the Wolves. Either one, any of them at this point. There's a little bit of blank for Hung. There's the Nature's Grasp coming back. The unstoppable onslaught. Ruler locked down here, but it gets knocked back. And now it's just with BewBew in the front line taken out.
Oh, not like this. Not like this.
Desperation play to get out of that one. The curtain call does come down. Oh, no, missing. He dies. Ruler, and now it is a capitalization of the overextension and a bit of that confidence from JDG.
I don't know what happened with the bot lane.
Wait, no! I won D!
Kanavi sends his regards!
Exploding casks.
That one's a vintage for the ages. Another kill, another 4 Magi stacks. Kanavi, again, making real use out of that item. If you're already winning and you're styling on them, why not get some more? Why not get some more stats to throw to that? Where are we replaying? We're going back here. Ultimate hits from Ruler. So much damage.
Missing didn't want to die to Hope. That's all I'm saying here. He's like, man,
yeah, I really want to see what happens with this last shot. Because watch this. One shot in there. He's standing all... I don't know whether that was meant to be a flash to block.
I think he was flashing away. I don't think he wanted to die.
Yeah. I don't think he wanted to die either. Of course, he still gets out of it. He's got himself the Mikhail's blessing as well. Knight walking up to the side lane.
Okay.
Got 369 teleporting up as well.
Walk back and forth. What's he got? Little dance moves. Ooh, is he gonna get out? Oh, the dance moves.
He's moving back and forth.
There's another duo partner there, and Shanks has been left out of the dance.
Yeah, he's so he's got 2 left feet, but his ankle's been so thoroughly broken, I'm not sure he's got any feet attached to his legs at this point.
Side hits are enough. They actually have BewBew getting back, but it's not enough. Is it enough? He goes for the damage. Knight trying to finish it off here, trying to go 1-0 in the series. He knocks him back. The autos are enough, and there ain't nothing you can do to stop Knight from taking your base as JDG take game 1.
Knight moves to Nexus, checkmate in game 1, and that was just quintessential JDG. They are stylish. They are so incredibly skilled. There's a touch of arrogance to them as well when they do have fun with playing that game. And WE, you gotta feel for them. Losing in fashion like that and having to come back into a game 2, that is so rough on the mental. How do you come back from that kind of game? They can't win a fight, so they have to look for the steal, but Knight has not been able to impact this game. Kanavi also really lacking his presence in this game, and JDG, they're getting absolutely played by Team WE. Picked off on that top side, a bit of an overstay after that mid lane inner turret. Turns into a very dominant phase of play, and that Baron buff, it's not going to overlap with the Soul Point, the Soul Dragon spawning for Team WE, that Hextech Dragon, the next one up on that rift, but they're still going to get control over this entire map. They get to walk in, use that Baron push, control this vision. JDG, they have... We thought they would eventually come back online, but
they
I don't know if they're going to make it.
They just keep pulling the trigger. They can't find the sticking power, and now Knight has hit 16. This is the go button for JDG, and they say now is the time to pounce. They get the backline here, and 369 has helped take down the back as well. Hung is gone, and the ticker has gone down to doom.
Far be it from us to question JDG, I suppose. They hit that level 16 on the Castle. Knight, Kanavi struggled to get into this game. Knight, though, at that moment, really finds an important moment, takes down the jungler, takes down the support. WE, this full court press they'd set up with this Baron buff, is now turned into a negative Baron power play. They lose some turrets off the back of it as well, so JDG...
He will be taken out by Shanks. Shanks goes down! A beautiful spear from Kanavi right through the heart of Team WE!
The river runs red. 4 dead members to WE, only the 2 from JDG, and that should be Baron finally secured. Neither of these teams wanted to get stuck in the pit. They wanted to find fights around the map. Really want to see how this started.
Holy cow!
Really good damage coming in from that trap. Infinity Edge, of course.
Oh my god!
Pops up the headshot damage as well. And despite Hope getting so close to killing 369, flashes forward, has no way away from the Castle at that point. And Knight, the real savior here for him.
By JDG.
Pushing forward, Shanks is not there, he's behind them.
Oh, the spear's just barely not enough. They gotta go help 369 a little bit. They got their team there, but 369, he's just left out. JDG will move on to the mid lane as Ruler has taken a tier 2. They're looking at the inhib tower.
Some miscommunication there from JDG very briefly. Bot lane of JDG moved up towards mid lane. They didn't want to continue the fight. 369 ends up dying for the miscommunication. But still Dragon secured by JDG. They still have the remainder of this Baron buff available to them. They're pinning Team WE back into their base, and Team WE, try as they might, they cannot get clean kills. They're getting forced off of these objectives.
That's Freddy Krueger coming for you, as that's almost one going down. They have locked down Knight getting out though with a Rift Walk. And it's just a trade of engages back and forth. WE putting up a fight.
Navi.
Oh, he gets him! Oh, Kanavi with the blind spear, and now the TP back in from Knight. The death knell of WE is nigh, as it's actually Hope that makes it out, but he's chased by Kanavi. He says, "Hi, friend, how you doing? Do you remember last year? Well, I do too, and I'm gonna take you out." As the electrocute. Oh, Hope. He gets it! Revenge is so sweet, but Knight quickly makes it sour, and JDG will slam home a 4th 2-0 victory in a row, and this trading arc is well and on its way.
Revenge is so short-lived for Hope at the death of this game. JDG, what a dominant first game. Second game couldn't have been much more different from it, but they still walk away breaking the Nexus 2-0 in still confident fashion. Felt like that second game, it really was just a bit of their own hubris, putting them a little bit behind. Maybe a bit of that draft, maybe a little bit of overestimating their ways to play around things like that Herald fight, fighting before they had their items. But as soon as they had them, oh my gosh, this team shows again the skill sets that they have.